Hi, this is Jeannie, and I'm from October Sun Studios, and I'm glad you've joined me again today. We've had a lot happening lately. We have our new venue, our new place where our brick and mortar, our gallery, and our gift shop is located. We have limited hours there, of course, but it's wonderful to have a place where a really wonderful place where we can show our juried shows, our gallery, and the gift shop. It's a nice space. You can actually see it from the outside. It's a large window across the street from the square. There's plenty of parking there. It's right next door to a healthy shake shop, which is also has limited hours. I think they close around 2. They might open around 9 or 10. I forget. You have to look it up. Twinsburg Healthy is the name right now. I think they're going to change their name. But for right now, it's Twinsburg Healthy. And then my studio space, my gallery space, and gift shop are right next door. And we're hoping that we can keep that open a couple times a week. We're looking at the later in the week, like Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays starting in April from 11 to 1. And then on Fridays, we're still pondering whether we want to open every Friday, but 5 to 7 on Fridays. But we can open any time that you want in terms of setting up an appointment. I can meet you there, we can go in, we can look, and you can have an opportunity to see what's happening. So the gallery space, although it has limited hours, you can, call me, text me, whatever, message me, and we'll set up a time when we can go and meet there. And that would be great. Now, where I am right now is inside the Blue Cottage, the Blue Art Cottage, and we are not yet ready to set up the outside. We are hoping that we can put the tent back up. It got damaged over the winter, and we're working on fixing it. If we can fix it, then we can put it back up. I'm still working on some alternatives, some plan Bs, but crossing my fingers we can get that tent back up. If we can do that, we're in. We're in. That's a really great space, especially if it's a little bit damp outside or a little rainy. And speaking of outside, we are planning on having our art camp for kids up to age 12. I would say we'd start at age 7, and it's $250 per child, which includes lunches, and unless there's allergies involved, then you would provide your own. Let me think about this a second. It's called a Fairy Nice Camp. The theme is fairies and dragons. And we are going to be creating a fairy garden behind the art cottage. And we've got many of the ideas already set in our mind, and very soon we're going to get things set in motion. The kids are going to be able to participate in creating a space back there, that they've done. And we have little flags to identify what they've created. What else? So that's what we're doing this summer, and we're also planning an adult camp. Those details are still being worked out. And a clown camp, that will probably be in September. So we have those. We have we have a lot of things going on. In April 12th, I believe it is our next event. And to prepare for that is a juried show, and the drop-off, I believe, is April 6th. And we're deciding if it's going to be here in the cottage or if it's going to be at the gallery itself. And I'd like for it to be at the gallery, but it would be a long day at the gallery, and I would have to shorten the hours, and I hope that would help. I don't want to inconvenience people from being able to drop off, but it would help us if we had the drop off there. Another thing we're having, the next juried show will be in July, then in October and December. So those are the juried show months, and we don't have a theme set or anything like that just yet. The other months, we're going to be looking for people who want to do a one-person show, or some kind of a special themed something. It wouldn't be juried, it would just be some kind of a community show. One of them might be a children's show, children's art show, from the students that I have, and maybe even invite other people. We haven't figured any of that out yet, but those are the things that we're thinking about. And let's see, what else can I tell you? We have some really fun art parties coming up. I actually like to call them master classes because they're more than just one session. And we can do one session classes, and I'm doing a couple of them at the senior center. But for my own, at the gallery, we can accommodate up to, I think, 25 people. So if you have a large group, or we get a large sign up for a particular thing, we can host it over there. Here in my art cottage, I don't know if you can see it behind me, we have space for up to 10 people. 8 is probably more comfortable, but those last two, I mean, it's very, very doable. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure that we will in the near future. So that's kind of what we have going on here right now. April 13th, that class is closed, but it's going to be a stained glass class. I do want to open another class up. I need somebody to tell me what time, if it's going to be a Saturday or if it's going to be a weekly thing. Saturdays, we like to do it in one clump, like from, let's say, 11 to 3. That would be, you would spend the whole day here from 11 to 3. We take a break for lunch, and we would do the master class in, I would like to do silk painting. And if we have to get more space, then, we can go over to the gallery and use the space there, at least for certain parts of it. And if the weather is nice, we can break up the group in between here and, I'm pointing to the area where the tent would be. Once the tent is up, then we would have that space to work with as well. Depends on how many people would sign up and actually how big the projects would be. The first project is not huge. The first project is a smaller project. And then the next project is a long scarf. So, obviously something that's very long is going to take up space. So we would need to, figure that out, which we can, because we have 4 spaces that we could use. We can use the gallery space, which everybody would be in that one. Or we could break our group up into our, in the cottage, in the tent, in the garage. And then we also have outside if it's a nice day. And it's really beautiful to do art outside when it's a beautiful day. It's just so comforting. And I have, I'm working on, developing gardens and flowers and plants and things. It's not, we're still in the pre-season of that. So I do have my little seedlings that are growing, and I don't know how many of them will survive because I don't have a green thumb, but I'm working on it. Okay, so, and let's see what else. Children, I have several sections where I have children's classes, 7 to 12, and I have Mondays in the morning from 10:30 to noon, and then Monday afternoon starting at like 2:15 till about 3:30. They're about 90-minute classes. Then on Wednesday I have 3 sections starting at 1 to 2:30, and that one might be opening up for more. Then I have 4 to 5:30 and 5:30 to 7. So there's room for another class in there. Those are my sections for children so far. And adults, you can, call me and we can set up an appointment. You can do a 3-hour class, which I recommend, because once you get going with art, you get into the zone, if you know what I mean, and you don't want to quit. You want to keep that momentum going. An hour lesson is just kind of like a catch-up kind of thing. Help me, get back on the right track with my painting. I have a few students who do that, and that's great. That's $15 for that hour. The children's classes, by the way, are $12 for the 90 minutes. Okay, let's see what else. There's an awful lot of things that I offer besides stained glass and silk painting. I will be holding off on the ceramics for a little while. We can do the ceramics. However, the kiln, I need to save some money to make some things that I need to help the kiln. I need some shelving. I need a plug, and not a plug in the outlet, but a different kind of plug. I also need some electrical. No, I don't. I don't need electrical, but I do need a vent put in. So they're minor things, but they're things that are holding me back from firing. And I would like to get to the firing part, and so we can make the pieces, and the pieces would have to sit until I get the vent put in. The vent is the most important, and maybe a couple shelves I could use. But I need to save the money for that, and then I need to get the people to do it for me. So I don't know if I trust myself to do it. Especially getting a hole in the wall kind of thing to vent it outside. I need somebody with the right tools and that to do that. But that's a status on the clay. I do have a clay wheel. I have another clay wheel coming, and so we can do the ceramics thing very soon, very, very soon. Set up an appointment, and we'll work towards making it ready for that. And I have so many other things that we could do: printmaking, regular painting, oil, acrylic, watercolor, and experimental painting. Let's see, calligraphy, alcohol ink, resin, which is what I'm working on right now. And we've just done some pours, and instead of doing a basic pour, we did a pour on paper, a special paper, in order to make paint skins to make some other things, anything from jewelry to jewelry boxes to framing, an interesting, beautifully colored frame, some other items. Stitchery, not so much quilting. I'm not into I don't have all the stuff to do quilting, and I'm not an expert quilter, although I love quilting. It's just, I don't consider myself able to teach it, because there are so many things to quilting, different patterns and things like that. But I do applique and reverse applique. Those are a lot of fun. And collage, bookmaking. So there's a large variety is basically what I'm trying to lead into. And I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening to me and listening to all of this information. Once again, a recap on the what I have available. We're no longer using the main house. We now are using the garage as a studio. Eventually the tent will be back up, and the backyard will, for the nicer time of the year, we'll be using that. I have the Blue Art Cottage, and then the Blue Art Cottage is year round, so we can use it in the winter and the summer. And the hours for the Blue Art Cottage are by appointment. So you need to, let me know, give me a call, say I'd like to have a lesson, and we'll talk about what times are available and fit you in wherever we can. And children 7 to 12 are $12 for 90 minutes. Adults are $15 an hour. 3 hours is a really good time slot to do, to work on a painting or watercolor, and it's good to come every week in terms of mentoring and letting you know what direction you need to go in. And what else? Oh, I should tell you the address, huh? I'm located in Twinsburg. I'm at 2633 East Aurora Road, which is where the studios are in the backyard, and the gallery is the address, let me think, 9087 building, or unit number 5. It's next to where the laundromat and the theater, Twin Theater, I don't know if that's where the actual theater is or not, and then the Twinsburg Healthy, and then myself. I have that last unit, and it's a big window, and it faces the square. And we're not as far down as Fresh Start. Fresh Start is in the next little patch of buildings. And if you look out our building, you can kind of see Twyla's. That's a consignment place of clothes. clothing consignment. And they have jewelry, they have furniture, they have a lot of stuff. They're amazing. And around the corner from me, oddly enough, is Strawberry Moon. And on the, if you go like that, then you have October Sun. So you got the sun and the moon right near the square. And let's see, that's it. Okay, thank you again for listening. I'm Jeannie Henderson, and this is October Sun Studios. I hope to hear from you. Give me a text, a call, whichever. Thank you. Bye-bye.